Hey, welcome to Springer's Adventures. Frank here. So today, Springer's Adventures was going to be working on the Springer. A couple weeks ago, I had the check engine light pop up on my bike. First time ever, 23 years. Never had that come on, and it came on, it stayed on. Don't know what was going on. A day or so later, it went off. It comes on when you crank the bike up, stays on for a second, then goes off. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. Don't know whether it's a phantom code or what. This is a 2003 Harley Softail. This is a carbureted bike. It's not injected, does not have a lot of electronics on it. So anyways, I'm going to grab out the manual and see what's going on and why this check engine light's going on there. And let's see if we can't rectify the problem. So let's go. All right. So like I said, the check engine light was staying on. So what you do is if you turn your ignition on, this is going to be your check engine light. All your other lights just shut off here in a second, which they did. And then it's going to pop back on, maybe this time. Oh, there he goes. So there's your check engine light, okay? So I'm going to shut it back off. A lot of the things that I'd seen online, read online, said if you hold your button in and turn your ignition on, it's going to give you some codes down there, okay? Now, each one of them is, first one, there's going to be like a series of 9s. It's one is they said it's clear. If you keep hitting the button, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's all there is 9. They're all, it says clear, CLR, 10, there's 10 of them. They all say it's clear. PPU, which is just means it's a diagnostics code. That's a number for the code that it means that it's in the diagnostic code, and then it goes back around again. So doing it that route, it doesn't say that we have any codes left in the system, but that's not true because we're still seeing that check engine light. So at that point, reading through the manual and everything like that is when I found out we needed to get a different manual. So let me show you what I end up getting. So this is the trusty manual for my 2003, part number 99482-03. But as you read through the manual, when it comes up to the diagnostic on engine codes, it tells you need a different manual. So let me show you the manual it tells you need to get. So it tells you need manual 99498-03. That is the electric diagnostics manual. And I was lucky enough to find one on eBay. Had to wait about a week to get it, but that's more than fine. Actually came out of California, and I ended up getting it for like $75. Now, I thought that was a really fair price considering I called the dealership and they wanted $125 just to figure out what the code was. So let me start reading through this book here and let me show you what I found out. So on page 4-8 of the electronic manual here, it shows you how you could actually make a little cheater cord that goes into the plug that's underneath the seat. And once you do that, it shows you how to plug it and everything like that. It tells you that the light on the dash is going to blink in a series, and those series of numbers will tell you what's going on with the code and everything like that. And I was like, what? We could do something like that. So let me show you what I found, how I made something, and the code that came up. So under the seat on a Softail, like I said, mine's a 2003. This is a carbureted bike. Here is your little pigtail right here. And it has 4 male connectors coming out of this port here. This is what would connect into your diagnostic reader if you were at the dealership or anything like that. And by looking at the manual, it says those 2 pins are number 1 and 2. And those are the ones that says you need to make a jumper wire to go between the 2 of them. Well, instead of making a jumper wire, I have a little spade connector here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that on those 2 there, and I'll show you how that hooks up. So as you can tell, I just went ahead and hooked up those 2 right there together. Now, when you hook those 2 together, it says you come back up to the dash, turn your dash on, and it's going to go through a series that's going to give you flashes on your dash with your check engine light. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to go 6 times rapidly. That knows it's in the mode. Then it's going to go your codes. That was 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we got to pause. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the first code is 52. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a pause. 1, 2. Okay, pause again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so it's giving me the same code over again. So it's giving me code 52. It's the only code that's popping up. It's done this repeatedly, numerous times. So like I said, you just count the codes there. Pause, 1, 2, the first was 5, pause, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's 3 times. The only code that's popping up is number 52. So back over to the manual, and like I said, there's what we just seen. So we've seen a rapid fire of 6. Okay, you got a second by a pause, and it gives you your first digit, and that was the 5 digits. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had a pause for several seconds. The second digit, we end up having 2. So that was it. Followed by a break again, and then it went back to the 6 again, the intermission basically. So that knew that the only thing we had was number 52. So going in the book, let's see what number 52 is. Bear with me a minute. All right. So on page 413, the diagnostic trouble codes, and this is for the carbureted bike. Number 52 says it's ram failure. Okay. So let's go back further in the book and see what 52 ram failure is meaning. All right. Page 4-49 for the Softail engine management carbureted bike. We come up here. So if it's giving you a diagnostic code of 52, 53, 54, and 55, of course 52 said it's ram failure. And according to this, all the following codes indicate an internal failure which requires replacement of the ignition module. So then of course it references you back to the other manual I have on how to replace that. So let's see about getting a module for this thing, ignition module. All right, so for everybody wanting to figure out here, so this is the ignition module. This is what it was telling me that needed to be replaced. There was the factory part number on there as well. And I just get a hold of my local dealership, and they tell us that it's no longer available. You have to go to aftermarket unless you could find it online or something. And I did find some used ones online, but I surely don't want to get something that's already 20-some years old, like my bike is, and have it go back and fail on me. So let me get online here and see what I can find aftermarket-wise. All right, so what I found online to replace that was the Dynatech, and I got this from JP Cycles, and it's for the twin cam for the 99 through 2003 carbureted version 1, and it's even programmable, and it wasn't a bad price on there, so I'm going to go ahead and take the old one off and get the new one on here. Take it off, it's pretty simple. Looks like we got 2 3/16 Allen heads. I'll go ahead and crack those open, and we have these 2 plugs here, and I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery here as well first, so we don't have anything live rolling through there. So in order to get this out, this part comes out of here. There's little clips on the side, and you need to push those in. Both of those go in, and then pull the clip out at the same time. It's a little tough, it's tight, it's been in there obviously for 23 years. But like I said, just push them in, and just work it back and forth, and it'll come out. All right, the original ignition module is out. That's what it looks like. You have the black one and the gray one. Like I said, just gotta focus there, squeeze in on these clips, because you can see how it has little tangs there to get it back out of there. So like I said, it takes a little bit, but you'll get it out of there. So let's go open the package in a new one and see what it looks like. All right, let's open up this box, this Dynatech ignition. Piece of paper over top. Sends you some nifty little stickers. Warranty card. And let's take this thing out of the bubble pack. So here's the Dynatech. Looks very similar to the original one there. The only main difference, I mean, it does have the same gray to gray and black to black, so there's no confusion there. That was the original one. Here's the back one. I must say this one is heavier, but this is also adjustable. Flip that around. So it actually has a advanced and a rev limiter on there. So we'll read that and we'll see what the stock settings are, and we're just going to leave that at stock for right now and see how this thing fires up. Now, there wasn't any information inside the box on installation, but then I just noticed on the warranty card, instructions. So I guess it's got a QR code. So we'll go ahead and scan the QR code for the fancy stuff now and see what it says. All right, so after downloading and reading the manual there, I'm going to go ahead. It says that the stock factory advance was basically right around 36A. So I moved that little switch there on the advanced. I know it's kind of hard to see from this angle here, but actually 40 was right in the center up, and I went back 3 notches, which according to this should be 36A. And it says you could advance it or go back, you know, accordingly from there, see how it pings or anything like that. So we're going to put it at 36A. Let's go ahead and hook this thing up. I'm going to back the rev limiter down as well. Don't think I'll be revving that thing up to 7,000 RPM, so I am going to back that down a little bit as well. So it is a simple plug and play. It just pushes back in. Just be nice and gentle as you're pushing it back in so it lines up on the pins. And like I said, 3/16 Allen. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that back down there, and then I'm going to go ahead and hook the ground wire back up. And for any of you guys wondering, that's a 3/8 bolt there to hook up your ground wire. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, well, she fired straight up. Sitting there letting it warm. Light was on for a second, it did go out. I'm going to let this thing warm up for a second. I'm going to take it for a ride around the block, and I'll let you know how she does. Alright, so put about 5 or 6 miles on it, just running it around, but seems to be running out pretty good. It's idling fine, no check engine light, and I think it was an overall success. But let me sit down and I'll tell you a little bit more about this module here for a second. Well, everything seemed to run out pretty good there. Like I said, I'm so far impressed with the module. I'll take it for probably another ride here tomorrow, really put a couple miles on it and make sure. The only thing that, not that I'm mad about or anything like that, according to the manual, it says when you replace that ignition module there, it takes 50 run cycles in order for that code to clear back up. So I'm imagining every time I crank that up, I will see that engine light on there for at least a couple seconds or so until it goes back out. And a run cycle consists of 30 seconds or more. So 50 cycles of 30 seconds or more until that light goes out. It says you can't disconnect the battery, won't do nothing. And of course I had to try it and it didn't do nothing. So anyways, I hope that helps everybody. If you ever have any questions about that, by all means give me a holler, give me a thumbs up on that. And like I said, I did not know what was going on there. And like I said, I looked on YouTube, I looked on Google, went through my regular manual there. So obviously a electronic diagnostic manual from Harley. The original one is a godsend. That really helped me out a lot. And if you have any questions, again, don't be hesitate to give me a shout. And hey, we'll see you out there on the Springer again. See you guys.